No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. And today we're making history. Lamar Odom is on the podcast along with the co-host of his new podcast, talking about sports. Did I f it up?
Nah, you did f it up.
Speaking about sports.
Keeping up with sports.
Keeping up with sports.
Yeah.
You chose to go with the most non-specific name possible, like easily Googleable.
We didn't choose it.
Nah, we didn't choose that name. I think it's kind of corny because it's like keeping up with the Kardashians, but it's because it's like Bruce.
Exactly.
It's a spinoff. Come on, man. You're sharper than that, bro.
No, I thought I was sharper than that, but that's a pretty good point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Damn. So, okay, I'm kind of almost more interested in how you became a part of this. For the record, because I was watching Lamar Odom content for like an hour or two before I came upon a piece of content that made me realize, oh, Caitlyn Jenner is also part of this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm like, now that
That's
kind of
the hook.
adds a whole different element to
That's the hook.
Yeah. So how'd you get involved in this?
A guy, Steve, who knows both of us, had this crazy idea to put me, Caitlyn, and Lamar together and call it Keeping
Entertainment
Up
world.
with
You know, if you know one person in the entertainment world, you really know.
He's
like
done a couple reality
10 or 20,
shows.
You know what I mean?
Different shit. So.
And, he put this together, got us together. And once I heard that Caitlyn was doing it, I was like, yeah, I want to do it. Haven't seen my family in a little bit. You know what I mean? So, I was with it.
But so what are your prior qualifications to be doing this podcast?
I did Kiss in the Mist with Jadakiss.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with World Star Hip Hop. I think we're the #1 World Star rated show. And then I do Pac and Zach with Pac-Man Jones.
Okay.
And a couple another show, Rashad Evans, the Fight Guys. But mainly the one people know me for is with Kiss. You know,
Yeah, I'm
Kiss
Lamar
and the Mist.
Odom. I do the Late Show. I got a Laker podcast too.
Yeah.
With my man Aaron Cohen.
He's got some podcast stripes too.
Because I'm so not a basketball guy that I was really surprised to realize that a lot of people out here are watching entire basketball games and then listening to 2-hour podcasts about that basketball game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's normal, though.
Yeah.
You guys are not even slightly surprised to hear that. I don't think I have enough hours in the day to consume that much content.
Yeah?
Yeah, Draymond Green does this podcast like right after the game.
Does he?
Like he got ejected the other night, and then he went straight to the podcast.
To the podcast?
to talk about how he got ejected.
That's incredible.
It's awesome.
It's called double dipping.
It's almost kind of crazy that NBA is even allowing that to happen. You
Shout
feel
to
like
him.
at some point, the more prolific this gets, the more that they might want to shut it down.
I shot a full-blown reality show in season.
That's a good point, too.
1 year, 2011, I think it was.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy they allowed that too.
What's the Lakers?
Yeah, that's dope.
So I think they understand the Hollywood impact.
They were like in the locker room, right?
Yeah, everywhere.
They're open-minded.
That was cool.
Definitely. But I don't know. It's just like, I feel like if I'm the NBA and you're playing in my game all fucking day, it's like I want to also own the content of you discussing that game. Because, okay, a lot of players are kind of salty about having to do all this required media shit after the game, right?
Yeah.
But then they all gleefully go off and do podcasts because they own the content, so they feel invested in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, taking ownership.
Right.
You know what I mean? You already own me on the court. You can't own me every fucking thing I do.
And every player is a podcast now.
Super fucking fucked up that they even call them owners.
Yeah, like it's hard to even imagine what the lane is for the like sports expert when you can get shows that are potentially going to have like experts and ex-players who come with like massive amounts
Yeah,
of
you got to
celebrity.
team up. Yeah, you got to team up. I need Lamar.
You
Give me
think?
credibility. Yeah, Pac-Man or Jada, whoever, you know.
We need each other.
Yeah.
Definitely. So is the Daily Mail pushing fake news when they say that the Kardashian family is very, very upset about this and that they're terrified of what you're going to say on this podcast?
Yeah, I think they're pushing fake news with that.
You think?
Yeah.
See,
because I know Bruce is still really, Caitlyn's still really close with Khloe. And I think he had a conversation with her about it.
That's what I was
They're
thinking.
okay with it.
They can't be just blindsided by this, right?
I mean, you know, business is business. If it, if our business doesn't, include them, then it doesn't. But, the show is not about them. You know what I mean? It's about life. In sports.
But how structured?
Combination.
How structured is it? How many episodes have you filmed already?
6.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's exclusively available where?
It'll be YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Oh, but it hasn't actually launched yet.
No.
Okay, I was making sure because I couldn't find the episodes, and I was just like, I just want to make sure I'm not totally
That would
losing
be
my
a
mind here.
problem.
Yeah,
That would be a problem.
That's why we're going on this like little run
Yeah.
tour thing.
Right.
Trying to get somebody to pick it up, I guess.
But you guys are doing the media run just you two. So to me, this kind of like reveals a potentially fatal flaw of this whole thing. Do you worry that the celebrity level of Caitlyn is so immense that she's not going to be down to do the grind,
Well,
like
no.
I
going
get
and
it.
doing no jumper?
Nah,
She's
but-
doing some PR Monday.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Caitlyn is incredible
Yeah.
as a host, though. I mean, just think about it. 'Cause, you know, the show is not about them. You know what I mean? It's about life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just think about it. You know, a relationship with the Kardashians, Olympic gold medalist.
Drafted in the NBA.
Drafted in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But you're saying
transformation from the most masculine guy to a woman.
Right.
That's enough to talk about, I would think.
Have you ever talked about that with her?
No.
We talked about it on the show a little bit.
Yeah, on the show a little bit.
Yeah.
We talked about some surgeries and going through some hard times. And
that is a good part about being a podcaster. You get to really find out about the trans experience.
You can talk.
I mean, why is that so funny?
It was a joke. That's why.
No, I'm not joking. I've had like a shitload of conversations.
Like every podcast is about
with members of the trans community mostly.
Okay,
it's not
got
like
it.
Yeah, I'm not having this conversation with just like every heterosexual man. But like as heterosexual men, we're interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can bring up a topic of your choice at your leisure on your own time.
You want to know what blew my mind that I found out the other day?
What's that?
If you were to want to turn your penis into a vagina, it could cost upwards of like $150,000.
It should cost more than that.
Yeah. the barrier to entry should be a little higher.
That's crazy. I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's a real psychological thing.
That's what you would have guessed.
What does Caitlyn call it? Hormone, not hormone dysphoria. What does he call it again?
Gender dysphoria.
Gender dysphoria.
So she talks about growing up with gender dysphoria and being, a young person and dealing with that, and how it motivated her to train so hard. It's in the back of her mind.
Oh, well, that's really interesting.
Just pushing her, yeah. So that comes out on the show too.
Damn, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Like, a set of tits is like $30,000. So I guess I was kind of surprised to find out that the vagina is like 5x
Going from
that.
a man's chest to a woman's chest is $30,000.
No, just like a woman getting a boob job.
Oh, a woman getting a boob job.
$30,000. I don't know. I think this chick's doing it for $5 or $10,000 probably too. But
yeah,
some legit boobs, maybe 20, 30.
No scars or anything like that, right? You don't want that.
No, you don't want that.
It's not ideal.
Okay.
But a lot of that has to do with how dark their skin is. The really, really pale chicks, they get the scar under their boob, and I noticed that you can't really see it that good.
Yeah.
But I know some women are like Filipino, different, like a little bit darker, and it stands out more.
Yeah.
So that's my expert analysis of that. I'm surprised I didn't see you guys at the Pornhub Awards last night.
The what?
The Pornhub Awards, yes, last night.
The Pornhub Awards. Yeah, this guy's in the
pulled
porn.
up.
Would you have gone?
100%.
I would have pulled up.
I would have pulled up. Why
Big
not?
L Pornhub.
I mean, everybody got to make a living.
Did you win anything?
No, I don't think I was nominated.
Oh.
I think it was fan nominated. But also, I don't even know if there was any categories that would have been like applicable.
Best porn podcast?
No, we won that at the AVNs, but Pornhub, I don't think they're doing that.
All right.
You got a
Does he
porn
deserve
podcast, huh?
Yeah. Plug talk.
They interview the girl,
And then
fuck the girl.
Then they fuck the girl.
Yeah.
Any chance that your podcast ends up taking a similar trajectory?
Nope. Can't do that piece, kid. Can't do that piece, kiddo.
Okay, but my question is, it seems like for any future relationships that you end up in, the fact that you now do a presumably extremely successful podcast with your ex-mother-in-law, that could be strange to your future ambitions of being in a relationship, right?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. How I make my money? It's like, you crazy? No, I don't think so.
But I don't know if that logic's going to take you that far, because what if you decide you want to be a porn star? Like, how I make my money, it's none of your business.
I'm a man, though. I mean, anybody go,
So if you end up in a relationship at this point, it needs to be on your terms.
I think so. I mean, 50-50, I would say.
Mm-hmm. But she can't tell you who to podcast with.
Nah. That's telling me like where to work and how to work. Like, it's like, I don't go for that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What is the status of your love life right now?
Single.
Fully single?
Yeah.
Like fake single?
What's fake single?
You gotta.
I have friends or like, buddies, what you would call it, or
I just like, if I'm Lamar
do
Odom,
I have sex?
Yeah, let's answer that first. Yeah. What's the sex life like?
Once in a while.
Once in a blue?
Yeah.
You're not like
I enjoy masturbation, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your ritual?
Get up and do it. It ain't no ritual.
How many screens? Because I've become a two-screener.
A two-screener?
2 screens. Is
Two porn
crazy.
windows pulled up.
Oh, you're addicted
at
to
the same
porn.
time. I don't know if I'm addicted. I just
He's a
you know,
porn guy.
Just like it.
I mean, I want to be inundated for those 5 minutes, you know? And if I'm just staring at one scene, it's not enough.
2 scenes? I
watch
didn't
your
get that
own
bad.
stuff?
I thought I was bad, but
Once
I didn't
in a
get
blue.
that bad.
When I miss my girl.
Yeah.
I was in Vegas playing the World Series of poker.
Yeah.
Not baseball. And yeah, you know, it's kind of like missing her. It's like I want to go revisit that sort of content. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're slaughtering me in the comments right now, for the record, for talking about sex with you guys so much.
It's all right.
It's kind of a stereotype.
We're ready.
It happens.
Yeah.
I was going to bring it up anyway.
Really?
I'm a fan, bro. I'm like looking up to you. I'm like, fucking like, this guy's the man over here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Man,
so
yeah.
normal
We respect it.
terrestrial men look up to NBA players, but then the NBA players look up to the adult stars / podcasters.
We have somebody to look up to. Right?
Yeah.
The stereotype.
I look up to people that's living their dream. And watching your podcast, it seems like you're living your dream.
What podcast have you watched in recent memory of mine?
This morning, the sex podcast with is that your wife?
Wife, yes.
Yeah.
You watched an episode.
Facts.
Which one?
I forgot which one it was. It's one girl with blonde hair. She had a fat ass.
Sounds about right.
Down to this, yeah. Nice.
Because like the stereotype is that the rappers want to be the NBA players and the NBA players want to be the rappers.
Yeah. It's a ex NBA player that just got into porn too.
Really?
Yeah, Larry Sanders is his name.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Well,
That's
just got
fascinating.
into it.
I had
Take some balls to get into it. Like, you know what I mean?
Larry Sanders. He's like 7 feet
No
tall.
pun intended.
Yeah.
No, I got to tap in with that. I got to see what he's looking
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bring him in.
See what he's looking
Yeah.
like, Paul.
See what he's working with.
Yeah.
You know,
He's like Shaq size.
I was really shooting my shot with what's her name? Keysah Chavis, Joe Smith's wife.
Oh, I
So it's
saw
kinda
that.
fucked up.
Ex-wife?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, I believe they're still married.
They were like going through turmoil, and she.
Do you
was
remember
like,
that?
Yeah.
They get in the argument about her starting an OnlyFans secretly, and then it comes out that she actually had this whole adult career in the 90s
Yeah.
and everything, and then now she's just kind of frustrated with their relationship, getting a little stagnant, so she started up an OF.
You think that was real or promotion for the OF?
Man,
Did it work?
I don't know if it worked, but she.
Because I went to as soon as she went to, I went to right to her name. Porn.
Yo.
Like, I looked right. What's her name? What's her name? Porn, and I couldn't really find nothing came up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was feeling for her during that conversation. It sounded like she's been unhappy for quite some time. I don't know exactly where they're at right now.
You tried to hit?
I threw my hat in the ring. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the response?
Not at this time. She said I'm a married woman. Which I respect her holding on to that.
She
even
gave
though
Cameron a massage.
She did.
She did, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Apparently that falls within the parameters of their relationship.
Yeah.
Not sex.
You ever met Joe Smith?
I played with him.
Played with.
How was that?
It's cool. He raps. He can rap too.
He raps.
He raps.
He's a little older, huh? That's interesting. Usually think that's the terrain of the younger guys.
Well, I mean, shit. You know, Jay-Z is how old? 50?
Yeah. You don't do a lot of rapping these days, though, huh?
We can still do it, though.
He's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But part
Shaq
of why
was
he's the
platinum.
greatest of all time is because he knew when to sort of step away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We still...
You got so many pockets, you can't figure out where it's coming from?
Yeah, I can't. I'm hearing it. But I'm like...
Mark got 38
I'm hearing it. I
pockets.
thought I turned it off. I'll turn it off.
For sure. Okay, so besides, I normally would like kind of start from the beginning, like proceed along, but I just feel like, you know, there's just so much energy in the air right now. There's just so many current topics. I'm just so fascinated by like where your life is at right now and what made you want to throw your hat further into the podcasting ring.
Well, podcasts are like, they seem like really popular right now.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I did the reality TV, and it's kind of not the same, but maybe like in the same lane a little bit.
A little bit.
So I said, "F it, why not?"
But I feel like podcasts are the rawest, realest form of media, whereas reality TV might be one of the fakest.
But I'm a real type of dude.
Yeah.
But
So why not?
you loved the reality TV
but
experience, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Me and Khloe's show, it wasn't like scripted at all. Like that was the most realistic reality TV probably ever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah, because I was talking to my sister this morning, and
because people loved it.
She was referring to you as Lam Lam.
Lammy.
Yeah, I didn't even, I'm not really like a reality TV guy, so I didn't know.
That was like my nickname on the show. They called me Lammy. So a lot of people still walk up to me like, Lammy, Lammy, Lammy. I guess you watch the show.
Do you often order lamb when you go out to eat?
Always.
Always?
Playing, bro.
Oh. I feel like the lamb is underrated.
Yeah, playing. You like lamb? Lamb chops?
Yeah.
Lamb chops are bigger in Atlanta.
A lamp to.
Atlanta.
A lamb to.
A lamb to.
I'm not like a pun guy, but we could do that. No, but I mean, you look at like the whole entree menu, and it'll just be all these different steaks, and then there'll be like one lamb thing.
Lamb chop.
Yeah, there's always that one guy who gets it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to be that guy.
Yeah.
All right, you're that guy.
Or the veal.
I like veal. Veal
like-
parm
Now we're talking.
goes hard.
I'm trying to eat healthy, so I don't know if I want to
Sorry,
go for that.
I'm not gonna get you.
You healthy? You work out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You lifting?
I'm in a lot of pain right now. Fucking legs are really sore.
You had a leg workout?
Yeah.
Where do you work out at?
My garage.
Your garage.
I do that too.
You go hardcore.
I have a personal trainer, and then I have a male porn star named Alex Legend from France, and we're buddies, and we work out together every morning.
Is she a male porn star seriously, or this is
Yes.
being sarcastic?
No, he is. He's been doing it for a long time.
Alex Legend.
He's just kind of like a regular guy to me, but that is in fact his career. Yeah.
Were you guys walking together?
That was a different guy.
That was a different guy. Okay.
Actually, you know what? I can tell you guys this because it's not going to be out yet, but basically I'm doing this really long, drawn out April Fool's Day prank.
Yeah.
Where on April Fool's Days, I'm going to announce that I'm doing my debut gay porn scene. Now, I'm not doing
He's
that.
joking.
Lamar, I'm not doing that.
All right.
But that's going to be my April Fool's prank. But so all this other stuff, like me leaking that
Yeah,
clip of me
yeah.
walking with the gay porn star dude,
Yeah.
that was just to like build hype.
Build it up.
Yes.
That's
I've never
funny.
done like
People will believe that.
I've never done like an involved April Fool's Day prank
Yeah,
like
no.
this before. This is kind of like
That's
a
a
new
big
thing
one.
for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's you had the thong too.
The thong.
Yeah.
You like that?
That's going to go viral.
It went viral. Yeah, I saw.
I bent over on the podcast and I was wearing a thong.
What made you put a thong on from the beginning?
It was all
prank.
part of the
Just a
prank.
joke? Okay, I get
It's
it.
April Fool's. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't got to defend me to him. Just
What's the name
let-
about?
I feel like I don't want to have a we're gonna talk after too.
Who?
Me and Lamar are gonna break this down for sure.
Why? You think that there's some parts of this that he's having a hard time with privately?
No, we just gotta.
Well, I just told the world that I masturbate on a regular.
Yeah.
Probably so, but
That just makes you a normal human.
No.
you're right.
Especially because at one point you were taking down a prolific number of women.
Yeah, I was.
And I don't feel like that's like the best for the average man in terms of like your overall quality of life. Usually I think that's kind of indicative of you going through something, right?
Masturbation?
No. And a million girls.
Oh.
I think masturbation is the healthier option.
Yeah, yeah, probably so. Could be pain.
Before I got in this relationship I'm in now, I was way too many girls. And when I look back at it now, it's like that was indicative of something being missing from my life.
Yeah.
Healthy relationship, so much better.
Trying to fill a void.
Oh, yeah, but you got a different type of relationship.
A little different.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
open.
But from like an emotional perspective, I think
Gotta
it's
be
better to be have that one person you really confide in, right?
Yeah. Yeah, mental health is important.
Is it difficult for you to get into a relationship at this point because of kind of like the enormity of
Celebrity?
you as a person that it's hard to find a woman who's going to treat you like a normal person? It's like they're fans. Or they're like maybe like other celebrities who kind of have a lot to gain from the association, which you have to be worried about.
You know, I think I'm not afraid of meeting someone like organically. You know what I mean? If it happens organically, then I'm with it. I'm down. You know what I mean? But I can really kind of see through bullshit at this time. Might be a fan or you want some money or something like that. You know what I mean? I've been dealing with people long enough.
But that's got to be kind of isolating, right?
I mean, yeah, it is. But this is life. It's my life. You know what I mean?
Do you think that if you end up in a public long-term relationship that it's more likely to be a famous woman?
I don't know. 'Cause I don't know what, God has in store for me as far as relationship wise.
It's hard to relate to the Dairy Queen manager,
Yeah, I mean, you can't really.
right? Like when you're Lamar Odom.
Yeah, I mean, but you never know though. You never know.
You can always find a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, you don't ever want to block a blessing just because of what the person does or their background or anything like that. You know?
It's going to be a
Honestly.
complicated week for the Dairy Queen manager when the news comes out. It's just like, she's probably not ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't want to be like thrown into the celebrity spotlight. You know what I mean? A lot of people are not even with it. Some people, especially in this day and age, you know, if she's 23, 24, then she probably most likely would want to be famous, right?
No, that's a problem.
If she's 35, 36, then she probably might, you know, so you never know.
Maybe. But if she's 35 or 36, she probably wants to have kids. And that's the other worry as a rich man, right?
Yeah, I want to have more children anyway, too.
How many you got now?
2. 1 in heaven.
Okay, right.
No.
Yeah, so that's the big decision. Do you feel like you're in a hurry too? Like your clock might be kind of running out in a sense?
No.
But do you want to be the guy who's creating a kid at like 65?
I don't want to be creating a kid at 65. I want to play with my youngster. You know what I mean? But, you know, in God's time.
De Niro just had a kid. He's 80.
That's what I was thinking of. I couldn't remember the name.
Yeah, I don't want to do that though.
That seems bizarre.
I don't like that.
I don't want to be grandpa daddy or
Yeah.
daddy grandpa.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You gotta be able to play. Like,
Yeah. That's too crazy.
I don't even imagine having sex at 80.
He's doing too much.
I could.
That's graphic.
You could imagine. I can't.
I could imagine having sex at 80.
I just wonder. It's got to be different.
I'm probably less is asked of you. You know what I'm saying? So it can't be that. It can't be that hard.
Standard is really low.
You know what I mean? For real.
And that's what you're looking for. Just like an easy out so you don't have to put too much effort in.
Young girl or whatever. You know, lay there.
Less is asked of you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just hard to imagine what 80 is like. I could probably ask my pops, who's actually in the room right now. But
how old are you,
Shout out to
pops?
him.
How old are you, pops?
How old am I?
76?
73.
73?
Oh, my apologies. 73. My apologies.
73.
See, the older you get, the more
Yeah.
offensive that is.
Yeah.
Even though to us, it's all the same.
shit,
You're
yeah.
an older man.
Yeah.
That's okay. Would you rather talk to? Because I was watching you do some interviews with my man Bootleg Kev, and his basketball nerd status is pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like strong feelings about all these players that he's never met and everything. I don't have that. I'm like, I've only been to or watched a few NBA games in my life. So is that?
Are you from LA?
I am from New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
So I grew up Larry Bird jersey on my
Boston
chest.
Celtics, right?
Oh yeah. And aesthetically, very into it. In terms of actually watching the game, never really appealed to me that much.
We hate the Celtics. I hate the Celtics. I don't like them.
Right.
That was for, different reasons.
Do you think they were like a white supremacist team?
No.
But they kind of had like that vibe.
A lot of teams have that vibe.
Utah has that vibe.
Yeah, a lot of teams have that
Yeah.
vibe.
I think that's unfair. But I mean, you got to look at the Celtics as like the place where the greatest white basketball player of our lives did what he had to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like some people might throw them in that category.
Larry Bird was a bad mother.
Bad.
And that taught me as a young dude that you can get respect from the brothers.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to really overperform.
Just got to come with it, right?
Yeah.
Like anything you do.
Like this. This is what I'm doing here.
Larry Bird would get offended if a white dude would come out to guard him.
He would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's disrespect.
Really?
Bust their ass, too.
I was never that fascinated by basketball until I recently found some YouTube channels where they like really break down basketball in extreme detail. Like it's like DJ Academics for basketball.
Yeah.
And they're putting together like little compilations of like, this is why this guy never amounted to shit in the NBA.
Yeah.
And then they're showing like this part of his game sucks. Look at his shooting. Look at and like
What channel is that?
I fucking
What's it
forget.
called?
I sent him a clip to it. I can find
Those
it. Right
tattoos on your head hurt? I'm thinking about getting my shit tatted up.
now. Yeah,
They hurt?
definitely a nightmare.
They hurt?
Oh, hell yeah. This guy, I'm going to shout this guy out. Latest Hoops is his
I ain't
YouTube
getting
channel.
You talked me out of it.
NBA legends explain how crazy good Larry Bird was.
Oh, yeah.
That's like
Those are good videos.
That's a video I watched the other day, and I'm like really getting into it. Of like, oh, okay, now that I'm having these narratives laid out for me, that's helping me to kind of comprehend better.
That's dope.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, where are we going here? You got any interest in BMX or skateboarding? That never really appealed to you? That was always my thing.
I never really had the balance for that type of shit. You know what I mean? Being tall and lanky.
Yeah.
That never was my... I mean, I like dirt biking and stuff like that.
That's
like,
cool.
Yeah, but skateboarding, nah. There's a lot of money in skateboarding, though.
These days? It's not like basketball, though.
Still money.
Some.
Is there?
You'd be surprised how little a lot of these dudes are making.
Who's my man who got the...
Nigel's the...
For some reason, I'm assuming.
What's the name? Got a lot of sponsors still, though. I always see him.
Tony Hawk?
Paul Rodriguez. There's a lot of
what's the
dudes
guy
out
with
there.
the show? With the...
Rob Dyrdek?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's all over the place.
You watch MTV, it's all him now.
It's literally only him.
Yeah. And they're paying all those people like $50 for their video clips.
Yeah.
He's
Robin Big was
He's everywhere.
goated show.
Yeah. He really like
Ridiculousness is kind of big, too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
I like
all
Robin Big
day.
more.
outrageously successful. Like the longest running show on fucking TV at this point and shit. Like it's just so low cost for them to produce, and it does really well consistently. So that MTV basically just relies on it massively.
MTV ever hit you up?
No.
No? Would you do it with MTV?
I'm a YouTuber. My whole existence is too offensive for terrestrial radio
Yeah.
or TV. So what's going on with these recovery homes? Is this project still underway?
Yeah, I'm trying to get them.
What's the holdup? What's the biggest challenge?
Money. You know what I mean? That's it.
You looking for an investor or?
Yeah, you know somebody want to help people who
Not
can't
really.
help themselves?
I don't even understand the business that well. You build these buildings and then it's kind of like a hotel, but you get the insurance companies to pay for it.
Medicaid and all that shit. You know what I mean? It's good money.
Do you think you could do a better job of that service than what exists already?
Yeah, because I lived it. You know what I'm saying? So my heart is into it. A lot of people have, since 2005 have OD'd. More deaths from 2005 from more deaths than World War I, World War II, and Vietnam combined. It's a lot of people.
Yeah. The drug shit is just out of control these days.
It's crazy. Marijuana is the way to go, I would say. Marijuana is probably the healthy high, I would call it, right? The healthy alternative?
I would say. I definitely feel that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I left all the other drugs behind, and the weed just, I don't know, it's just stuck with me.
Yeah?
Yeah. I used to have some crazy times. Like when I think about it, I'm like, I really kind of skated without having to deal with almost any consequences and still managed to kind of dip out before it got a little too real.
Yeah. Well, life's real, especially when you're doing drugs. People still call it getting high. I call it getting low. I mean, when you're getting out of it, I mean nothing.
Right. When I do cocaine, I don't feel like I'm getting low.
No?
Like I'm getting high, like
Yeah.
too much energy.
Yeah.
You have to do a lot of it for it to become like a low experience, right? But I've definitely known those kind of
I'm
cokeheads
just
as
talking
well.
about because the consequences with all this fentanyl and all this shit. Like you can't really. Why would you even take the risk?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I kind of bailed out before that became too much of a thing. But Lil Peep passed away in like 2017 from a fentanyl Xanax, and that was kind of like this real eye-opening thing for a lot of us of like, oh, young ass kid, still got by that shit.
And thought he was just taking the Xanax.
Yeah,
No.
got it from a fan.
A fan? Mm-hmm. The fan didn't know it was fentanyl.
The fan, if I had to guess, probably had a higher tolerance because a lot of people want the fentanyl pills. They request it.
Yeah, there are people addicted to fentanyl.
If somebody tells you that they're addicted to taking Perk 30s, they're probably not talking about some medical shit. They're talking about some fake shit.
That's crazy because that lets you know how far from the drug game that I am.
You
It's a-
never got back into it after the coma?
No.
Just wasn't even an option in your head? Just on to totally different.
No, somebody tried to kill me, bro. I didn't even do drugs that night.
Okay. You really? Somebody put something in your drink or something?
Yeah, I went to the Bunny Ranch, sat down, had a drink, woke up 3 days later. They said I, was never gonna walk or talk again.
Who do you feel like could have had the motivation to do that?
I don't know. I think about it to this day.
One of the chicks in the Bunny Ranch, perhaps, but
that dude, Dennis Hoff, the dude that owned it.
He was a sketchy character.
Yeah.
You think he might have had a grudge against you?
I don't have a grudge.
You're probably a pretty good customer.
Yes, I gave him $75,000 as soon as I got there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Damn. So when you look back at that time, though, like as you're coming out of the coma and everything, is like, are you having this realization of like, I need to change my life? Like, I just can't go back to the way that I was before this. Because a lot of people do.
Well, I mean, I had 12 strokes and 6 heart attacks. You know what I mean? So, like, I wouldn't even f around with putting myself in that type of position again.
How many how many months or how long was the rehab to get back to some sort of normalcy?
I've started to heal a lot faster than expected, and which made me not take some of my my cognitive therapy so serious. And but it took maybe 6 months, everything together. From going from they thinking I'm never going to be able to walk and talk again, and walking and talking again. Maybe 6 months, 7 months, maybe a whole year. Maybe I can't even really remember.
Right.
Memory's bad.
And one thing that is crazy to me that I found out while researching for this is that you first tried coke basically in a scenario where you were cucking some dude.
Yeah.
Some random guy is basically inviting him to do coke with his wife.
Yeah, he left.
Oh, he left?
Yeah, he didn't stay right there, but
He left
yeah.
while you were with his girl.
Yeah, I was in Miami. You did some good research. Pretty good at your job.
Would it have weirded you out if he was sitting in the corner? Because that's how this proceeds a lot of times.
Yeah, at that point in my life, probably so. I think so. It would have weirded me out. I would have made him leave.
But once you got deeper into it, that might not have bothered you.
But now, once I hit that coke, it probably wouldn't have bothered me. Cause shit did change after that. Yeah, shit did change after that.
Right. Damn.
It probably wouldn't have bothered me, but
we should probably find out where she's at right now. She's
little blonde woman, nice rack, round tits. Yeah. Can't remember her name though.
She'd be a good guest.
I would love to talk to her. Yeah. But any woman could just lie and say that was them.
No. That wouldn't be a good interview anyway, by the way.
No, probably not. Just some random cokehead lady.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know, but I have a crazy memory, and I won't, out of respect, I won't name the person, but there's basically a person who was a big figure in the podcasting space. And my last time seeing him before he died, he invited me to his hotel room, and I started to feel like it was the scenario that you're describing. And I said no. And then didn't take long, but lost his life. That made me wonder, I should have done it. It would have been an honor, right?
I'm not to die with him.
Not to die, but to...
Did he die?
That's an honor.
No, he died of something completely unrelated.
Oh, okay. I was
about to say he died that night off doing coke.
I thought he died that night.
But it made me feel like, holy shit, I could have had this incredibly intense experience. Where I probably would have got to know this motherfucker on a real, totally different level.
Were you close with him?
Kind of close, but not do cocaine with him and potentially have sex with his girlfriend.
Yeah,
not that close.
Yeah.
Oh, he wanted you to have sex with his girlfriend. Potentially, that's what you feel from your gut was telling you that?
He didn't say that, but he said, do you want to come back to the hotel room and do some coke with me and my girlfriend? And I'm he's an older guy. I'm kind of thinking oh. Yeah. Fuck. And I had never done anything like that before. So I was, and at that point even, I was done with the coke. So I'm nah, I'm good. I can't.
It scared you, basically.
It kind of weirded me out a little because I hadn't really been exposed to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been down either. So.
Oh, come on, Zach.
Just I know people watching think I would be the type of guy to do that, but
what What do you think it is about you that allows you to sort of be the person helping to maintain these conversations with these famous, powerful people?
Yeah, gotten a lot better. Just being myself. I think it's allowed me to connect the best, not putting on a front, not trying to fake, you know. I've just developed such a good relationship with some of the people off camera, with Pac-Man and Jada, like some of my best friends, literally. Me and Jada, like, we're like that, and me and Pac-Man are like that. Now me and Lamar are like that. I think that's number one.
Right. Where's Jadakiss right now?
He's in New York. He just gets bags.
There's all kinds of random shit.
Hell yeah.
He's got a nice legend spot where it's like nobody's ever gonna be able to take that away from him.
No.
Hell, he gets to the bag, just does his thing, minds his own business.
After he battled after D Block battled Dipset.
I was there.
But that was
there?
I was there.
Really?
I was with Hell Rel.
Wow.
Shout out to Hell Rel.
Shout out to Hell Rel.
Great
Hell Rel
American.
gave me a shout out on this show, and all my friends are calling me like, yo,
did?
Hell Rel shouted you out, no jumper.
Hell Rel's hilarious because he talks so much in that interview, and like the
Hell
other dudes
yeah.
at the
That was
table
the
could
best
not get
part.
a word, and he was running that shit.
Legend. Shout out to Hell Rel.
Hilarious human being. But that pissed me off because I remember on Twitter everybody was having this like epiphany of like, oh, Jadakiss is so good at rapping, and I was like, where the f were you guys in the '90s when this guy was like the dude?
Well, you gotta understand, because Jada's, got stamped by Biggie Smalls, man.
Right.
Enough said.
Top 5 dead or alive.
And every single time I listened to Get Rich or Die Trying, I remember all the other hard, they came from Yonkers, which was about him, even though they ended up beefing like 2 years after that.
Checkmate.
Yeah.
And DMX from Yonkers too.
That's crazy.
They got like a crew up there.
Legendary.
Rappers and entertainers, shit like that.
You wanted to be a Rough Rider at one point?
Nah. I'm from South Jamaica, Queens.
Oh, so you're a G Unit all the way, huh?
Lost Boys and G Unit.
Wait, what year were you born?
1979.
Oh shit. Okay, so you were a little older than me when the G Unit explosion was taking place.
Yeah, I was there.
But you remember the 50 lore prior to his explosion? Were you a fan, like even during the early mixtape days?
Facts. Facts.
Had a ride.
Facts.
You connected with 50 at all in recent years?
Nah. I would love to, though.
He'd be dope to have on the show.
Hell yeah.
That would be insane.
Hell yeah.
I feel like he doesn't do people's podcasts besides like the Breakfast Club like
Not
once
really.
a year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I hate about these older rappers, that they just get set with like they pick like two media personalities that they like and then they just do interviews with them. Yeah, I totally understand. You feel like you have a safe relationship with them,
Makes
but
sense.
it's like, no, get in here, get in the ring with the young dudes,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
relatively speaking. But
Don't nobody like to be questioned. It's going to make them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
but
Not at this point.
salute to you because you're out here taking chances, doing podcasts with random white boys who will ask you about God knows what.
I don't really have nothing to hide.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I wanted to ask you if this is a common scenario. So there's a girl I know who apparently, she's in like a coma right now, and apparently she overdosed while she was in rehab, which I was kind of shocked by, but then some
Fuck
people...
you get the drugs in rehab.
That's what I'm saying, but then apparently that's not that uncommon, that this actually...
What rehab? What?
Listen, I don't know. I was not there. But when I heard about this, I was just kind of shocked. And that made me, then when I heard you talking about your desire to start your own facilities, I was like, well, apparently there's something going on in these spots that is not
Oh,
appropriate.
shit, that can't be going on. You know?
So that's totally foreign to you? You haven't really heard about that?
Nah.
It should be more secure than that, right?
Yeah, not people doing drugs in rehab. You go to, people go to rehabs to get better. But obviously that was somebody that made a decision that they wasn't ready to get better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you're an addict, and you're caught in your addiction, you're going to find a way when there's no way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in a rehab, you would think there's no way, but that addict found a way.
One of the greatest rehab stories I've heard on a podcast as well is when I heard Bam Margera talking about how he like basically hurled himself over a very tall fence to escape from the rehab. And then he's basically like running down the street and a bunch of skateboarders happen to pull up alongside him and are like, Bam, get in. He gets in the car with them, goes to their crib and proceeds to get up. But like instantly, as soon as he leaves the fucking rehab, a bunch of fans just swoop him up and like are excited to bring him into their drug lair.
That's crazy.
I love Bam.
It shouldn't be that easy. That's the problem with being a celebrity. Everybody wants to get you fucked up.
Yeah. what do you call it? People that help you in a bad way. What's the word for that?
Enablers.
Enablers.
A lot of enablers.
Yeah. A lot of enablers.
You used to have that problem?
Well, my get high buddy was my best friend at one point. You know what I mean? Kid I brought out here from New York to live and try to do what you kind of doing in the entertainment world. And we got high in every which way. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he didn't survive it though. He died from a flesh-eating disease.
Seriously?
Yeah, I guess he was shooting heroin and
Oh.
It fucked him up. The last time I seen him, he we went to get high. We were in this hotel right in the valley right here, and he took his shoe off. And I never smelt death before, but I smelled it that day. And I guess he was shooting the heroin in his foot, and it must have got like infected, and he was all up in the head. That was the last time I seen him. That was my friend Jamie Singletide, my brother.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
But
terrible.
it takes people out, and you know, I could have been one of those people, and you could have been one of those people.
Definitely. I remember I got on the subway one time in New York, and there was like a lot of times out of the whole subway car, all of them will be packed, and then there'll be one that's like empty. Mm-hmm. Do not go onto that one.
Never.
Because there's something going on. I did. I got onto it. There's a fucking dude with his whole leg is like infected. It's fucking huge.
It's crazy.
It's the worst smell ever, and I have to stand on the car
Smell it? Oh.
for like. I think I hopped out right away. I don't think I actually like really. But it was like this guy had turned one car of the subway into like his own personal like laboratory
Yeah.
where they're like inventing new flesh-eating diseases.
Yeah.
You know who dealt with that too is OG Mako.
Yeah.
His whole he got a crazy flesh-eating bacteria on his face, and it like fucked him up for like
Rapper, right?
years. Yeah. Bitch, you guessed it.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. I knew he'd won.
Really doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Who's this, a
Guessed
rapper?
it.
OG Mako.
You heard that.
He was like the
Bitch, you
first
guessed
dude
it.
signed to QC, and he really like I feel like a lot of the rappers from Atlanta in particular who like scream into the mic.
Yeah.
They owe him a huge debt, and they realistically probably don't even know that they owe him a huge debt because it was like 10 years ago when he came out.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to him.
yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
How do you get the rash or he was shooting heroin?
Drugs, you
I
said?
honestly forget. I think he was maybe doing a little bit of drugs, but I don't think he like got it from the drugs.
Oh.
He probably had a dirty pillow or something.
Yeah,
It's like
good.
pink eye.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I don't remember. Oh, okay. So I have a narrative for you.
What's that?
Khloe could end up feeling some type of way about me interviewing you
Why is that?
because I once got a cease and desist from Tristan Thompson because we had some random hoes on here, and I'm so like when I tell you that I'm really cut off from the reality show world and the NBA world, she starts talking about how she's fucking him.
Who?
This random chick on the podcast.
She's fucking Tristan Thompson?
This was a few years ago. And I'm sitting there like, whatever. I'm drinking on this episode for some reason, and I have no fucking clue about the fact that she's saying something that is very controversial. So I end up getting a cease and desist from him, basically saying that we had to take the episode down or cut that part out or whatever because this was somewhat destructive to his life at the time. I don't want her to think I have a grudge against her just because I'm
Kardashians?
interviewing all of her ex-lovers.
I don't think so. No. I don't really speak to her or anything like that. You know what I mean? I don't think we have anything to worry about.
The media really seized upon the idea of you having these feelings for her still, though, huh?
I don't care what the you know what I mean? I know how I live my life, and I'm realistic.
When I'm watching you do like Dateline interviews, it seems like they're just like kind of wearing you down over the like it's like hours of like interviewing you to finally get you to the point that you'll say something like slightly out of pocket. Is that because that's like a whole different world that I don't
think
understand.
that's what they wanted him to say.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted him to say. Oh, I want a bag. Please come back.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, there's no way that Lamar Odom is that pressed.
I'm not pressed for women. They're everywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know how, like, as a man, like, the odds are on my side. Like,
Hell yeah.
anywhere I go, there's women anywhere.
For you in particular,
right?
I would say. I remember I interviewed Sugar Sean like a long time ago before he was UFC champion, and I remember him saying to me, because he's like in LA for not maybe the first time or second time, whatever, and he's asking me like, where do I find a girl for me and my wife to have a threesome with? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Maybe go to the beach, like maybe go to the club.
Let your girl lead the way,
Right.
and it'll happen.
I think he was leading the way.
You know what I mean?
Maybe that was the problem.
That's
Yeah.
harder.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. You gotta let her do it.
Take it to
Your
Nobu.
girl gotta want to be in. Well, you know.
Take it to Nobu.
This is the guy.
Yeah, I'm saying,
You could have had a little advice for him.
You
I
should
feel
have had
like
a little bit of advice for
Okay,
him.
Yeah,
you think I'm some kind of ladies man or something?
You should've put him on game.
This is all business. Like this shit is in my calendar. I got a scene today at 5.
Where at?
Right here. Well, not here, but on the other side of the facility.
You gonna f somebody on the other side of the facility right there?
You heard it here first.
Can I watch? I swear to God, I'll watch.
The tables have turned.
I swear to God, I'll watch.
I don't know. I don't know if I really want to try to have to perform in front of you. It might be a little. Like we're just getting to know each other.
I get it. I get it.
No, but I'm saying like the natural like game that it takes to just like meet chicks in public and like, you know, like sort of make them into you and all that. Like I have so little experience with that at this point because it's like, you know, I meet girls and it's like, oh, let me get your number. I'll give it to my team so we can see if
you can
we
pull her
can
into
fit
that
you into
world.
the schedule to work together.
Yeah.
It's not like, yeah, let me get your number and I'm gonna fucking sext you and then just like hang out and take you out to dinner. Like all this is like extremely foreign to me. If my wife left me, I feel like I would be back to square one as like a male trying to meet women. Like it would be very overwhelming, and I feel like I might take a vow of celibacy.
A vow of celibacy.
Oh, celibacy.
Maybe for like 3 months.
All right.
You ever do that, or that's impossible?
I've never even brought that up seriously in my life. You know what I mean? Like if it happens, if time goes by and, you know, I don't tell something up, then time went by. But I didn't say, yo, I'm not going to do it because I'm going to be celibate.
You didn't need like a reset period in between the crazy sex addict period of your life and whatever normalcy that you might have going at this point? I mean, for all I know, you're still in the sex addict part of your life.
I mean, I'm not I don't know. What's a sex addict?
Addict is a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot. They threw that on Tiger Woods.
Yeah, they made him say sorry and all that
Right.
for being a sportsman. Everybody knows
Yeah.
sportsmen are going to get laid.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Tiger Woods.
But then when you find out the details of the cheating, even though the details might really be kind of mundane, it still is kind of shocking to people of like, oh, you were getting a hotel room so you could sleep with some other woman. It's like
That's because he was clean-cut Tiger,
exactly, yeah.
right?
If you could have, would you have
I would've kept
been
my
the
dick in
clean
my
cut
pants.
guy? Or were
Yeah.
you more comfortable with the world knowing the real you?
I'm more comfortable with the world knowing the real me because there's no fall from that. You know what I'm saying? Living a lie, that's going to end. And if it ends publicly, and as we're all seeing right now with my man who I used to look up to, Puff Daddy, look what he's going through
No, did it?
publicly.
You ever go to any of those parties?
That's crazy. Nah.
Never.
Never. I've been in one of his parties, but it was like a lot of people there, shit like that.
I went to one of
At
his
house and
parties,
stuff
but
like
it was
that.
a lot of people there, wasn't
You know what I mean? It wasn't like me, him, and 4 other people, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
I think it goes down like when it's like smaller numbers.
Yeah.
Oh,
but-
for sure. You're getting called into the other room away from like the main party.
Yeah.
If they trust you enough to get into whatever kind of deviancy they're exploring.
Yeah.
You got to resist that. If they summon you, you got to say no.
Yeah, no.
I think
Yeah. Gotta say no.
that's a wild one though. It's wild to think that like, okay, I went to Texas for a wedding, and it's like literally all white people, and then there's one cool black guy wearing like a sparkly red suit. And he immediately, as soon as we get on the bus to go to the wedding, he grabs the aux cord, boom, R. Kelly. And he like announces to the entire bus, "Hey, I f- with it. Like this shit hard. Like I'm not gonna not play this." Like, and then he plays "Step in the Name of Love," and it's like, okay, like I don't think as a society that we could really get away from that one. It's just too good. It's like perfect for the moment. Like, and I kind of feel like with Diddy, it's like there's some of that. He's got like some songs that I just am not comfortable with saying like, oh, I'm never going to listen to Mo Money, Mo Problems again. It's not happening.
No. There's Bad Boys records.
But it's going to be a joke. It's going to be, there's like a punchline associated with it whenever that song comes on, no matter how much it meant a lot to you as a kid.
They're already breaking the lyrics down.
Oh, yeah. But a lot of that shit is not really honest, right?
Yeah, no, yeah.
What is he charged with? You know?
Really nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
They're just examining and exploring.
They came in like really hard, like, damn, like, are they looking for Bin Laden or Puff Daddy? Like, damn. Like, shit. They came in like he had all the guns, coke, and atomic bombs.
They raided Jake's house right after I was staying there.
Jake Paul?
Yeah, Jake Paul, yeah.
Why?
Like a gun or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then they raided, so I was there, and then I went to Las Vegas.
Wait, wasn't that when he was looting the mall?
I guess he was like walking through the mall and he picked something up.
Well, it was after hours. The mall was closed.
Yeah.
There were other people looting it.
Getting
and then
content,
he
right?
went in there with the video camera and was filming. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, you did trespass and you're the only fucking famous YouTuber here, right?
Yeah. They raided his place in LA, and then I was in Vegas, Graffiti Mansion.
Where I saw him get married to Tana Mongeau.
Shout out.
I went to that.
So
Very weird to go to a fake wedding.
very weird. But it's dope. I was there, and someone told me it was going to get raided. I got out of there, and the next day they came, put everyone up, and questioned them. It was fucking crazy. I was 18.
Right.
They came aggressive, though.
They came super aggressive. And he didn't. It wasn't Diddy shit.
They wanted to make a statement.
Yeah.
I mean, they searched his house when he wasn't there as well. So they probably like knew what they were doing in that regard.
We were in Vegas for training camp.
Definitely. How do you feel about the state of what's going on with Kanye? Because he's kind of had like a fall from grace minus, some Diddy type shit. We've never really heard those types of shit. But in general, like, do you kind of admire him marching to the beat of his own drum? Or do you feel like...
he's a boss. He's an owner. I look up to him. He's black, right? He owns his own shit. I fuck with him. He's a genius as well. Probably the biggest artist that we had in my generation.
Best discography ever.
Music, clothes, fashion. He got it together. Had a beautiful wife, beautiful kids. He'll be all right.
You spend much time around him?
No, I haven't been around him since probably since I woke up from the coma or whatever.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of fascinating. The idea of like really going out of here. Like, we all know that we could say and do whatever we want, but we all act a little bit reserved. We all hold back some opinions. And he's someone who kind of just got to the point where he was feeling his power so much that he just sort of started saying everything that he thought, sometimes without, much consideration for what it might do to his life. And now we get to see what that looks like, but he might be like the one guy who's able to actually really pull it off.
Yeah. Well, he can continuously make shit. Right? Other people just... But he sold his sneakers for $25 and made a shitload of money, something like that the other day.
He's got the number one song in the world right now.
Yeah.
Billboard number one. Yeah.
He can keep making, keep producing. You know what I mean? You can't stop that. You can't stop what's great, I don't think.
No, definitely. Okay, so what is your weed smoking regimen actually like? Me? Yeah. You smoke blunts? Joints?
Backwards, if I'm a smoke.
Really? What flavor? Favorite flavor?
It don't matter. Sweet aromatic or dark leaf.
The backwoods got better over the years?
Yeah,
You're less likely to get trash.
Wash it. You know what I mean? Wet it, wash it. Take that shit off, whatever that's on it. Make it less harsh.
When I think about 2014, you were getting a lot of really shitty woods out of that pack. And when I see it now, it seems like they've got it a lot more consistent.
They got it, yeah.
I remember Redman told me, I'm not addicted to backwoods, I'm addicted to dark backwoods.
Dark backwoods?
Well, like the darker they are, the harder they hit. And sometimes you open that pack and it's just...
I like the sweet aromatic, though.
But those two. I mean, like all of them have like varying levels of.
As long as there's gas in there, how about that?
Right.
Can you put the gas in there?
We got to put the gas in there.
You got weed strain? What you got?
Not exactly.
Boy, what you got some weed in here? Something.
We definitely got some weed in here, but is there? What are you pointing at? Oh yeah, right here. Yeah. No, but he said he doesn't smoke on camera. He's still trying to be brand friendly. He hasn't gone full Kanye yet.
Oh, is bud in there?
Yeah. You want to break your own rules?
No.
Just take it.
Yeah, but I can see it. I can see it right here. Hit for something.
Yeah. I mean, they gave us these because this is the same one that Orlando Brown, like I was saying, he took it out of the case and then he proceeded to smoke it. He cracked a Modelo as well, I believe. Yeah. Okay, what else is it important that we discuss while we have this time here together?
Well, we got porno in.
We did do the
A lot
porno
of
talk.
porn.
We got Caitlyn in.
A little bit, yeah.
Lil Kanye.
Maybe a little bit more about like the
Got
gas.
some NBA.
Yeah. So we've interviewed
some
on the
weed
show
talk.
or something.
Who we interviewed on the show? We interviewed what? Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray Leonard, that was dope. We talked about like being
Saw that.
sexually abused.
Yeah. Amber
Yeah,
Rose.
and that was a total surprise that he started telling you about being molested or whatever.
Our show is very like therapeutic. You know what I mean?
Create that kind of environment. That's the goal.
I don't know because we didn't even talk about the environment. We just kind of like being ourselves, the way Caitlyn delivers, the way I deliver. I think people feel at ease and kind of like let go. You know what I mean? But I was really surprised. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was.
Because how many interviews has he done in his life in which he didn't divulge this and he just decided now's the time?
He's been a superstar forever.
Right.
Why my show did he pick that? I don't know.
I mean, my theory is that when it comes to interviewing, so much of it has to do with respect because a lot of times when you're doing an interview, it's the same fucking boring ass questions that you answered a million times.
Yeah.
But if you were doing a podcast with Jay-Z,
Yeah.
and Jay-Z said, hey, tell me about overdosing, which I guarantee you're kind of sick of talking about,
Yeah.
probably going to give him a full throttle answer and tell him whatever he wants to know,
Yeah.
Whereas you're doing an interview with some fucking dickhead off the street, it's not really going to compel you to really give him
The full
nitty gritty.
Monty, right? But I mean, for me, that whole conversation for me is kind of like therapeutic as well. I mean, it happened. It's sad. That people don't cherish life like they should, or someone else's life. But I could have like woke up with like the whole like Pac mentality.
Of just everybody.
Everybody who somebody tried to kill me, I'm gonna get them first. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that's probably the biggest blessing and lesson I learned from it. I can forgive your enemies, or right?
I mean, it was
not forgive your enemies, but just it's not empathy, but
it was a wake up call, even if it wasn't the perfect wake up call. Because if you had just partied and ended up in that situation or some situation, then
yeah, I'd probably still be doing it.
because you felt like you had it under control for the most part, right?
Yeah, addicts all do.
It could have got a lot worse before it got better.
We have to submit to being an addict.
Yeah.
I'm an addict. I need help. I want help. I don't want to live like this anymore.
Right.
I'm hurting people, hurting myself. So many things that you got to admit and submit to until you get help.
I just remember that I started a thread of this conversation before and then we got distracted. But I was going to ask you before, like, is it more interesting for you to do a podcast with somebody who has encyclopedic basketball knowledge, or is it interesting to you to do one with somebody who doesn't really have that knowledge? Because to you, I mean, presumably a shitload of people who have that kind of knowledge. It's not as
well. I think the best thing about the podcast is I'm doing the podcast with two people that I respect and two people that I can learn from, and two people that in some senses are brighter than me. Right? I want to like continuously learn from whoever I'm around. I want to spend my time. You know what I mean? So if I'm with you, I'm gonna learn about the porn game and how to get into it, how to shoot some content, how to get paid.
Oh, we're getting you into it.
No, but I'm just gonna like just continuously learn. All joke aside, I think that's important for me and for my cognitive Therapy.
Right. And it's to me, if I were you, I would find it refreshing because it's so raw in comparison to like the reality TV thing, where granted, like yours might have been more real than other people's, but ultimately it's like, you know, you're kind of having your actions and your words twisted to fit these narratives that'll make sense for a 30-minute TV show, right?
Yeah. You know, we could just, podcast, you could just go on Tilta and get back on the subject, come back to it like we've done in this show. So I feel you.
I like inviting them along for the ride of wherever it happens to go. I like the idea of doing like a documentary and like really trying to shape a narrative, but I don't know. Even that feels a little bit constricting.
I like documentaries as well.
What's a good one you've seen recently?
I haven't, it was one on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember the name of nothing.
What was it about?
Black History.
Black history.
It was a real intelligent speaker. It was a lawyer guy, but it was really good. It was really done well.
You know about Channel 5 on YouTube?
No.
It's this guy, Andrew Callahan, and I was just watching one that he did about the mole people of Las Vegas. They live under these bridges in Vegas.
I heard about these people.
And they got their own little society.
City, everything, right?
Yeah.
Town, bank, and everything.
Well, I don't know about a bank.
They got everything.
It's a bunch of fucking homeless dudes living under a bridge. If they started a bank, they should probably also graduate from.
No, they got everything. They got everything.
Bank under the bridge.
But it's like you literally can see the strip right there, and then they're right here under this bridge, and apparently the cops just let them live. One dude's talking about he's been down there for 10 years.
Who wouldn't? They got bank. They got everything.
If they have a bank, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it. Chill. Yeah.
They got to clean the homelessness up here.
It's crazy.
Yeah, what would you do?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be my run for governor if I tell you my scheme to help.
Lamar,
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, why not?
Hell yeah.
I think they.
Let's just skip straight to president.
Yeah, I think you got to clean it up. But I know the state, wants money,
Yeah.
right?
I think they get plenty of it now.
They get
They're just incredibly inefficient at spending it on things that will actually help
they get
people.
$14
We
billion.
got fucking potholes in the street. Like,
So I would say just scoop all the homeless families up and put them in like a reform. I'm not going to say there's not like prison, but prisons make money.
they do.
Let's put them all in prison.
So if you put them all in a drug and mental rehabilitation center and kind of run it like how they run prisons that make money.
Yeah.
I don't know how they really actually make the prisons make money, but prisons make a lot of things that we wear, use. And
Well, you want to know the most depressing thing that you'll see when you go downtown is the children. Just the fact that people are having kids and that these kids are growing up in fucking tents in the middle of Skid Row. It at least occurs to me like maybe we could just really go out of our way to deal with the women and the children first.
Yeah.
And then maybe work on the dudes as time goes by, right?
put them all together, scoop them up, and put them to work.
The kids? Like the 2-year-olds?
Everybody. It's better than they're homeless.
Right.
It is.
You could get like a big hamster wheel and they could walk on it and it could generate power.
No, they're homeless though, bro. Like this is like real serious stuff.
Right, yeah.
It's like a black eye on the city, probably, right? I'm pretty sure LA is like losing because of this problem.
Well, we're
No, I
way
get it.
different than most cities that we just take them and put them all in one place.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
They have their own
You got to do something.
Get them some help, and I'll
Of
probably
course, you're not gonna have a 2-year-old work.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But ain't enough. ain't enough.
Eating out. Eating out. You're old enough.
Give the money to the city. I think it's a great idea.
A big part of the problem is that nobody wants low income housing being built in their backyard.
What?
Like okay, if they were going to build like, extremely cheap apartments down the street from your house, what are your assumptions? Like, oh, there's going to be a shitload more crime. It's going to drive the property values down. So you'll see these super progressive Democrat voters going to the town meetings and
You don't have
basically
to have it
saying,
in a big city. There's
we don't want this.
a lot of land out here.
Oh, you're saying we ship them off to somewhere else?
You don't have to ship them off anywhere else.
Ship them all.
But there's a place where you could probably build it.
But
or
that's what
build
they do
places or
in
build
Texas.
facilities. You want to build facilities,
Governor
right?
Abbott, he'll take the immigrants and then he'll just ship them up and throw them in Kamala Harris's front yard.
No, we ain't gonna do that.
Try to make a statement.
But first of all, you want to like a lot of these people like have serious drug habits and like mental health disabilities.
You wanna get them
you
help.
can't help nobody that don't got their fucking head on straight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 1 + 1 is 1, not circle.
1 + 1 is 1.
I mean, 1 + 1 is 2. You know what I mean? Not circle. A lot of these people can't even really think straight.
What's the YouTube channel that he interviews the people?
Soft White Underbelly.
Yeah.
Shout out Mark.
Shout out to Mark.
I interviewed him many years ago, and then Joe Rogan ended up getting him after
seen
that.
that
This
channel?
shit's crazy.
But
He like interviews like homeless people and like different people, like all
Crackheads, pimps,
yeah, prostitutes.
assassins. Like you'll see a title on that. You'll be like, how could anyone possibly be like discussing this? You know,
Yeah.
like fucking compulsive
Rapists,
gamblers.
murderers.
Yeah.
He'll interview anyone. Yeah.
It's called Soft White Underbelly. It's basically this guy Mark, who's like a photographer. He's like a very professional. Like he's made a shitload of money over the years shooting photos for all these big brands and stuff. And he basically like wanted to take photos of a lot of the homeless people in like downtown and shit. So he starts doing that, but then he starts interviewing them as well. And then he starts a YouTube channel where he just basically puts those interview clips up. And now on YouTube, there's a shitload of people doing basically like interviews at truck stops with homeless people and crackheads and shit. But I think Mark does a very tasteful job of it. You know, he does interviews that don't come off as exploitative.
Yeah.
Which, because when I started this podcast, I was in downtown and people would tell me all the time, you should interview homeless people. And I was like, I don't want to do that because it's going to come off like I'm, using people that have nothing to make fucking money and content. But he does it in a way that I think people find palatable.
I think he helps fund some of them too, like, help them out. Yeah.
He told me when we did our interview, he told me that maybe like 20 people had come to him that day asking for money. He's way too giving. He needs to like lay down hard parameters with these people because they clearly are taking advantage
I
of
saw
him.
one with the prostitute and like she was giving the money to the pimp and it was like a whole thing and taking care of the kids. It was
that. I think her name was Exotic.
Yeah.
That was a wild ride.
I was in a 2 hours I'm watching these videos. And then I got to that point I was so upset.
Yeah, that's a saga right there. A lot of the people that he's interviewed have like died and just like kind of documented. Like he's had people who are like addicted to drugs where they did 10 interviews and in every single interview they look like a completely different person. It's fucked. Wow. Yeah, it's a wild thing to dip your toe into. Okay, what else do we need to know? What is there on the table? Any random information? Anything you never shared with anyone before that you want to share with us? Your deepest secrets. Or you, Zach.
Yeah.
You're a little bit more of an open book here.
Yeah, am I?
There's probably a lot of things we don't know about you.
There probably is.
Probably the first person I had on with a backwards hat in a while.
Really? Someone told me like, Zach, you should wear a backwards hat. Am I the first Ice Spice shirt too?
is it a Miller shirt?
It's like a Miller Light hat. I got it in Puerto Rico.
And it matches the Ice Spice shirt.
That's a dope shirt.
What I really want to do is I want to go eat and possibly have a conversation with that blunt because there's a good flour in there. Or?
Lamar, I think you're gonna love it. Where, if you could go to eat anywhere right now, where would it be? Baja Fresh.
Baja Fresh? Nah, I don't know. I don't really do like Chipotle and all that shit too.
No.
No?
Well, no.
We had Roscoe's yesterday. That was fire. I never had Roscoe's before.
Oh, that's
It was a
legendary.
treat.
Yeah. The Obama special, they named it something else now, I guess.
Yeah?
Why?
I don't know.
I would have gotten it.
It's been that since 2010 when I first had it.
And
but-
I don't know. I just want to go have a beverage and
Sweet beverage.
Do you eat like normal sized meals or do you have to eat like, you order like 2 meals?
I don't really eat a lot.
Really?
To be honest with you.
I eat way more than him.
You're a growing boy, Zach.
Yeah.
He's
3,000
22.
calories, yeah.
He's already settled in.
No.
Oh.
You think you're taking 3,000 calories a day? Or
I am.
You are.
Yeah, on purpose.
Trying to bulk up?
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah, I gained 25 pounds.
What are your aspirations? You trying to be like a power lifter?
like bodybuilder style training. No, I box, and I was like kind of like a skinny fat 165.
You
I was
just
like,
want to look athletic.
yeah, it wasn't
look good in your
optimal.
clothes.
It wasn't optimal for
get it.
athletics. So I want to look better, fill out my clothes. My arms getting bigger, right? Just
you're
how I lift
looking
a
good,
little. All right, thank
Be
you.
like a CrossFit guy.
CrossFit guy?
A lot of girls do that.
Do they?
Oh yeah.
You want to do CrossFit? Pick up chicks?
Hardest workouts I ever did in my life.
Yeah, I don't think I can do it.
You know what's
no,
hard
I'd rather
to me?
fight someone.
Pilates is hard, pretty hard.
Really?
Don't fuck around, bro.
I heard hot yoga is like the hardest thing in the world.
hot yoga's
Hot yoga's
tough.
a motherfucker.
That's tough.
Yeah.
But Pilates is tough too.
Someone told me they would rather fight Mike Tyson than do hot yoga.
Nah, I don't know.
Different types of pain.
Yeah. Shows
Hot
you the
yoga's-
mindset. Yeah. Yeah, I can't do that shit.
I had an experience doing hot yoga where I had been through a breakup, and it was like a few months later, I broke up with the girl. And like, I was much younger, but I felt like a lot of guilt about breaking up with her and like really breaking her heart. And I was doing hot yoga, and somehow like all of a sudden my brain processed that. Like I had not like allowed myself to feel that emotion of feeling like a fucking asshole for, you know, breaking this girl's heart. And somehow the hot yoga unleashed it in me.
Therapeutic.
Never done it since. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, that sounds good. Breath work, meditation.
I see you keep looking at my wife's fleshlight.
Damn. She's got a nice box.
Thank you. Okay, this has been exhilarating, Lamar. Very, very nice to get to know you.
You too, bro.
Incredible that my dad actually came for this. This is the first time my dad has ever actually been interested enough in a guest. He didn't come out for the Dennis Rodman interview.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Pop seen me play before in college.
Yes.
Yeah.
His level of fanatic interest in high school and college football has always been really crazy.
So we go back.
Just like me. Yeah.
He definitely probably like saw you play when you were still going through puberty.
College.
Probably not in college. Okay. Thank you, Zach. Very much best of luck with the podcast and everything. I'm definitely
you.
interested to see how it goes.
Let's go.
It's going great.
Definitely. Oh yeah, I forgot I wanted to ask this. Do you think that maybe you'll end up giving trans women a chance due to Caitlyn being such a part of your life?
Trans women a chance as far as the chances.
I mean,
They all have a chance.
you got to follow your heart, right?
no. Yeah, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's Lamar's cue.
He walked out. You saw it. You all saw it. He walked out.
Very nice meeting you.